Hi everyone, today we'll talk about food is the soul of a culture in China. Without further ado, let's begin.
China, or also known as People's Republic of China, is the most populated country in the world, with the population of 1.4 billion in 2019. China has 56 ethnic groups, and each group has their own cultures and language. With a great diversity of religious beliefs, they coexist with each other harmoniously. For example, Muslim, Christianity, and Taoism live harmony in this country. Ni hao, wajau Fatini Afrika. I will explain about Chinese food pattern. Food pattern can be divided into two, which are staple food and prestige food. The first one is staple food. Staple food is the food that we eat regularly in such a large quantities that it constitutes to a dominant portion of a standard diet for given people. The example of staple foods in China are rice, noodles, and bread. Do you know that China is the largest rice producer in the world? Rice is the major staple food for people in this country because they have the largest sources of rice that were mainly growing in southern China. The next one is noodle. Chinese noodles are first originated in China during Han Dynasty. It has a variety of size, texture, and shape. Noodles also can symbolize as long life and good health. The example of noodle dish in China are liang pi and ding ding mian. The last one is bread. Bread is the most popular staple food in northern China. Chinese people are usually making bread by either steam or pan-fried. For example, huajuan or flour rolls are one of the Chinese steam buns. Next, we will move to prestige food. Prestige food can be defined as luxury food that is desirable and hard to be obtained. People often searching for luxury food during special occasions, from small-scale family celebration to large-scale feasts. The example of prestige foods in China are edible bird nest, shark fin soup, breast, whole abalone, and matsutake. Edible bird nest soup is one of the luxury food in China. It contains a lot of sialic acid, which is the essential component for brain development and cognition. Meanwhile, for shark fin soup, Chinese people often consume it during Lunar New Year celebration and weddings. Besides breast whole abalone, also the dish that are popular during Lunar New Year celebration. This is because abalone is symbolized as good fortune in their culture. The last one is matsutake. Matsutake can be cooked either by making soup or steaming.
大家好，我是 Sakina. Do you know what makes Chinese food distinctive or unique? And do you know how does the geography of the country determine what kind of food they eat? Now, I'm going to share with you about that. What makes Chinese food unique is the ingredients used in their cuisine. Ingredients like oyster sauce, spring onion, chili paste, rice vinegar, and sesame oil are the ingredients used almost in their cooking to produce Chinese cuisine. Then, if you are craving some Chinese cuisine, then by using these ingredients in your cooking, then the dishes that will be served will definitely embark the Chinatown in your house. Next, I am going to share how does the geography affects Chinese foods. Firstly, the southern China. Big cities in southern China like Guangzhou, Chengdu, and Xiamen usually have warmer and wetter climate compared to the northern China. The people of southern China likes their foods with sour and spicy taste. The example of foods are oil tea, home-brewed rice wine, and glutinous rice wraps. Then, the people from the northern China loves their food in a simple way with salty taste. The climate of the North China is colder, which is as same as European countries. The example of foods eaten are dumpling, steamed bun, and of course, the famous in the capital of China is Beijing duck. Next, we are going to explore the geography of eastern part of China. The eastern popular with the river that separated a lowland area. The eastern China can be divided into two areas which are Northeast Plain and North Plain. The geography of Northeast Plain basic landscapes are forest steppe, meadow steppe, and cultivated land. This landscape soil is rich with nutrients with black color that allows it to become famous agriculture development. Meanwhile, the North Plain of China surface is built based on a massive geologic deposits from the Losses Plateau carried down by the Huanghe and White River. The common taste for the Chinese people in Eastern is sweet and light. Seafoods and also lots of fish are usually became their foods as they are living near the water source.
Ni hao, wo jiao Zaira. I will explain about China's signature dishes and drinks. It is no coincidence that today we are going to find Chinese food almost everywhere. Chinese food is not only common in Asian countries but is also available throughout the entire world, from the Americas to Europe as well. Boba tea is one of the most popular drinks in China. It is a sweet drink made up from a combination of fresh milk with steam, brown sugar syrup, and tapioca pearls. It also served with whipping cream or cream cheese on top. Boba tea, which was first introduced in Taichung, Taiwan in the 1980s, has recently exploded in popularity around the world. Soy milk, or is called doujiang in Chinese, is also one of the most popular beverages in China. It's a traditional drink and a staple in Asia, particularly in China, as this soothing drink was invented a long time ago. Tofu pho or soybean pudding is also a very well-known Chinese dessert, eaten hot or cold with a special syrup. Next is tea. Tea is an important part of Chinese tradition. It is consumed regularly both on casual and formal occasions. China as well is an original tea manufacturer and is also known for its ability to cultivate and make tea. There are several types of Chinese tea: green tea, white tea, yellow tea, red tea, oolong tea, and black tea. Next, Chinese hot pot is one of the most popular and unique Chinese cuisine. It is prepared with a simmering broth, commonly spicy broth, with all the raw ingredients put beside the metal pot, and later people can add and cook whatever ingredients they want in the broth. Besides that, dumplings are also one of the Chinese signature cuisine. Chinese dumplings become one of the most widely loved foods in the whole world. Commonly, dumplings consist of mincemeat and chopped vegetables wrapped in a thin dough skin. Last but not least, Peking duck is one of the most popular dishes with a history of more than 40 decades. In 1970, Peking duck had become a national icon for the country. Before the duck is cooked, compressed air is injected and it is brushed with sweet sauce or Chinese-style mantou syrup. Then the duck is cooked until the skin becomes golden and crispy. Peking duck is usually served with some thin pancakes or white bun, green onion, plum sauce, fresh cucumber, and occasionally some garlic paste and sauce.
Ni hao, wo jiao, Safura. I will talk about food holiday. Chinese New Year, or also known as Spring Festival, begins with the first new moon of the lunar calendar and end 15th day later during first full moon of the lunar calendar. The most important things during this festival is having feast with family. These are some examples of traditional food during Chinese New Year. First, dumpling that symbolize family unity. Secondly, they eat long noodle the night before the festival as symbolize to long life. Third, glutinous rice cake that symbolize improved performance in career and also in study. And lastly, they eat steamed whole fish that symbolize abundance for the upcoming year. Chiming Festival, or also known as Tom Sweeping Festival, is a traditional festival where Chinese pay respect to their relatives and also ancestors that have passed away. It falls between 4th April and 6th April every year. The examples of the food that are eaten during this festival is king chuang. It is believed to prevent toxic insect bite. Next, omelette plus spring onion. It is believed to improve eyesight and also makes eyes brighter. And lastly, Chinese also eat ziti buns during this festival. Duanwu Festival, or also known as Dragon Boat Festival, is a traditional holiday to memorialize the life and death of the famous Chinese scholar Chu Yang. It's held on the 5th day of the 5th month. The most famous food during this festival is zongzi. Chinese believe that zongzi is the symbol of luck. Next, they also eat tea eggs. Chinese believe that hanging these eggs on the necks of the children can help to diffuse bad luck. And lastly, they will drink relga wine that believed to prevent sickness and also even spirit and poison. Mid-Autumn Festival, or also known as Mooncake Festival, fall on 15th day in the middle of the month and the 8th lunar month in the middle of autumn. It is also a festival of reunion. The most popular food during this festival is mooncake that indicate family unity, healthy and happy family. And also fermented osmanthus wine that symbolize happy family.
你好，我叫 Sharifah. I am going to tell you about festival food in China. Winter solstice is also called Dongji Festival. It falls between 21st to 23rd of December. It is the day when Northern Hemisphere have the shortest daytime and longest night. It is initially considered as Chinese New Year. These are the food in winter solstice. First is dumpling that help to warm the body. Next is tangyuan that symbolize as reunion. And the last one is wonton soup. Lantern Festival falls on 15th day of first lunar month. It is the last day of Spring Festival. Watching lantern, dragon dance, and fireworks are the famous activities. The custom food on Lantern Festival is yuan shao that symbolizes as reunion, harmony, and happiness. Double Night or Chongyang Festival falls on 9th day of 9th lunar month. It also known as China's Day of Elderly because of double 9 digits symbolized as longevity. Climbing mountain is a popular custom as implication promoting to higher position. High in Chinese is called gao, that also means cake. So people consider that eating cake is same as climbing high mountain. Since then, people eat Chongyang cake on Chongyang Festival. Next is chrysanthemum wine that believed to drive away the evil and help to prevent disease and disasters. Next is Laba Festival. Laba Festival falls on 8th day of 12th lunar month. It is an occasion to sacrifice to heaven and earth as celebration of people's good harvest from growing crops. It is also a celebration of the day when Sakyamuni became Buddha. The custom food in Laba Festival is Laba porridge.
你好，我的名字是 Anissa Anis. Today, I am going to present about Chinese food custom and etiquettes. Food etiquette also can be referred as table manners, which is defined by Cambridge English Dictionary as the way someone eats the food in a socially acceptable behavior, especially when eating with others. Today, we are going to look at a few food etiquette that is practiced in Chinese custom. First is sitting order. Chinese sitting order is very strict, where it is arranged based on seniority and organizational hierarchy. Generally, the one in the center facing east or facing the entrance is set as the seat of honor, which is reserved for the guests with higher status or foreign guests of honor. Meal only can be enjoyed after the host or older people has given the sign to start eating. In addition, the food should not be taken too much at once, and it should be eaten first before deciding to take more food. Next, we are going to look at the chopstick tables. First, the chopstick cannot be sticking upright in the rice bowl, but should be laid in the dish, because the action made it looks like the shrine and is equivalent to wishing death upon a person on the table. It is also not allowed to tap the bowl with the chopstick because it looks like a beggar tapping their bowl for money or indicating a slow service in the restaurant. Thus, the action looks like insulting the host and is regarded as poor manner.
你好，我叫 Shafika. I will explain about the typical menu of a Chinese. Chinese usually taking their breakfast between 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. This is a rush period as they need to go to school or work on time. Therefore, the menu for breakfast needs to be simple to prepare or buy them from street vendors. They can also take their breakfast at home or eat it while going to work or school. Most of them also do not eat any frozen vegetables during breakfast. Lastly, a Chinese breakfast menu would be different according to their regionality. Some of the foods they usually eat during breakfast are shrimp dumplings or fried fritters with soy milk. For lunch, the Chinese would usually take them between 11:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. They can eat their lunch at the nearby restaurant or cafeteria at their school or workplace. Most of them would also carry their own lunch boxes as it is time and cost saving. Examples of food they eat during this hour are beef noodles and steamed bun. The last meal of the day would be dinner, usually taken between 6:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. This is the time when the whole family will gather and eat together. A Chinese household would prepare and serve about 2 to 4 dishes, including rice, any meats or fishes, cooked vegetables, and the soup on their table. Some of the foods they eat during this time are rice, kung pao chicken, stir-fried broccoli, and clear soup.